Uber just gave a huge update to UberX Share. So let's check it out. Starting Thursday, September 7th, which at the exact time of this video is actually tomorrow, requests for UberX Share rides will now be shown alongside UberX requests to ensure you're seeing every opportunity to earn, and we've made improvements to shared rides. So first off, you can see right here, earning with shared rides, your fare for an UberX Share trip will be at least as much as what you would earn for an equivalent UberX trip from pickup to drop off of all riders. I think that's huge. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes when Uber and Lyft comes out with like a new idea, sometimes it's pretty bad. That's a good start to me. I gotta give them credit that, of course, Lyft got rid of Lyft Shared. So it's kind of just Uber right now in the kind of the shared market, but I think that's a really good thing because as we all know, these shared rides don't pay that much money at all. In addition, UberX Share reduces the amount of time you spend with a rider, providing the opportunity to earn more in less time. That might be true if they're really testing out this kind of a new feature to pay you properly, which would be mind-blowing for Uber and Lyft too. That could be big. Discounts to riders do not lower your earnings on UberX Share trips. That's huge as well. And you have the ability to cancel the pickup and collect the cancellation fee if a rider is more than 2 minutes late. I do know that for, of course, UberX Share, that for shared rides in general, they're way more strict about the timing of the pickup than a normal UberX or, like, say, Lyft or whatever. In addition, accelerating on Uber Pro with shared rides, you'll also earn points, pro points, for every co-rider you pick up, allowing you to earn points, reach higher status, and reach your goals faster. I have heard of a lot of drivers doing well with Uber Pro. There's a lot of perks. Some of them are kind of meh, I'll be honest, but I have heard a lot of drivers have told me that the bigger they get on Uber Pro, the more money they make. I've heard that a lot. Your Uber Pro status will not be affected when you reject UberX Share requests or cancel subsequent rider pickups, and your driver rating will not be impacted if you receive a negative rating from an UberX Share rider due to pickup, bad route, or co-rider issue. I feel mixed about that. I am going to be honest. On one end, I think that's a good intention because it isn't your fault. Basically, they're saying like, look, if something happens in the UberX Share that really is out of your control, you shouldn't get a bad rating. And I agree with that. How much is that going to be actually used in practicality or in the real world, so to speak? Tough to say, but we'll see. Now, I'm going to be honest. I actually like a lot of these new terms Uber has put in when it comes to UberX Share. Like I said, sometimes Uber and Lyft creates a new update or a new policy or whatever, and I'm like, wow, this is a really bad idea. Other times, I'm like, you know what? I actually kind of like where their head's at, so to speak. And this is one of those situations. Now, I have done a video about how to disable UberX Share rides under the preferences option on the Uber app. There's other options as well when it comes to UberX. In general, you have Uber Connect. I think there's Uber Pet now. The shop and go one that's kind of like the rival of Instacart. Of course, Uber Eats, stuff like that. But digressing back to this, I actually like these terms. Now, granted, as we all know, especially with Uber and Lyft, the way they say one thing is going to be like, and then the way it actually happens, like in terms of the actual layout or the actual practicality of it, are two different things. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit, but wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. The idea being knowing one thing and what it says on paper is very different than the actual real world in terms of actually doing it and blah, 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 blah. That's the way I look at this. However, this is one of the first times I'd say for all my drivers out there, maybe testing out UberX Share might not be a bad idea. I will say, I feel like they've addressed all the issues that in the past I know were super frustrating. Granted, there's still a lot of issues. One, are you actually going to make that much money? Granted, they did say that if, let's say, of course, it's going to be cheaper for the people taking the UberX Share, your overall income will actually not be impacted. You're going to be getting paid as if they're UberX or normal Uber rides, for lack of a better word, right? Like you're going to be getting paid normally as if they're taking regular Ubers. So maybe it could be that you actually are going to make more money. That could be potentially true, right? In addition, they did mention the whole aspect about rating. The fact that if, like, say, someone rates you negatively, but it's related to something out of your control in relation to the UberX Share, you won't be penalized when it comes to your rating. That may be true. I don't know. I mean, because also too, part of me says, well, how do they know? A lot of people, I'm gonna be honest, when you rate somebody on Lyft and Uber, typically, you rate them first, and then sometimes it's like a drop down menu saying, okay, you gave him 1 star. Why did you give him 1 star? I think to a lot of people, they just don't give the option. They say 1 star, I don't feel like explaining anymore. Now, some people do, some people don't, but that's another big thing too. If let's say, as we all know when it comes to UberX share, someone gets in, all the people get picked up and dropped off, and they're waiting there for a while, and they go to give you 1 star, they might be like, you know what, I'm gonna give them 1 star. I don't explain it any further. And now Uber doesn't know, well, are they giving them 1 star because of UberX share's fault, which it is, or did the driver actually do something which deserve them a bad rating? Another thing is the fact that you can get to Uber Pro tiers faster. Like I said, I have heard of other drivers, a lot of drivers who stated that the higher they get up in Uber Pro, the more money they make. I have heard that a lot. So again, this could be potentially like a cool little, I'm just calling it speed running per se, but this could be a cool little thing where it's like a hack, so to speak, where you can go up faster and faster in the Uber Pro tiers. I actually think that for the first time, this is something I think they're at least trying to have the right approach, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I am saying that this may be the first time that maybe exploring, which I can't believe I'm saying this, being honest, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm always very honest in all my videos. This may be the first time I say that exploring doing shared rides with Uber might not be a bad idea. Now, granted, like I say in every video, test it out. It's happening tomorrow, at least at the exact time of this video, but for most people watching this video, it's probably already happened in terms of these new updates. And maybe give it a shot. Maybe on one weekend say, you know what, I'm going to accept UberX share rides. Let's just see what happens. Granted, you could look back at all the numbers in the analytics and realize, wow, Uber was full of crap. Yeah, this is not even happening, which could be the case. We all know Uber and Lyft says one thing, do a different thing. So that could definitely be the case. But you never know. I feel like any single time they roll out a new feature or try to give a new update, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? But their intention is there, I think, to at least try to make something better. And it's not a bad idea to approach it and say, you know what, let me test this out. You could make not that much money at all and be like, not worth it. But it's very possible that with these new terms, very, very possible that you could make more money than before, which I know sounds mind-blowing to say when it comes to this, but it's very possible that you can make more money than before because of the new UberX shared rides update.